Hey guys, it's Chasey and
Cohlie.
And we are doing something crazy. Cohlie has been begging me to make a YouTube video. So in effort to model learning something that I don't know how to do, I am learning how to make a YouTube video. So we are going to start a YouTube, maybe a channel. We'll see how this goes. On what?
Oh, book reviews.
So why do you want to review books?
Because I like reading, and I want people to know about the books that I think were really good.
Okay. And the funny thing is, do you like book recommendations?
No.
She doesn't. So we go to the library like a solid 4 days a week because we cannot be organized to go and get all the books on one day. So it almost seems like every day we go to the library and where?
The Dollar Tree.
So we always need something at Dollar Tree. So, but she doesn't like book review. Like when I suggest a book at the library, she never likes what I suggest. So it's kind of interesting that this is what she wants to do. So last week on my Instagram account, I posted a list of books that we were reading, and she's chosen to review 2 books this week. One of which I loved, and I'm going to give you my opinion on, and one that the kids liked. I'm not sure that they loved it, but I think we all liked it. So, at our house, we have really been making an effort to read aloud. It just makes, it gets the kids' mind working. It helps with vocabulary. It just helps with so many things. So we always, like I said, we go to the library a ton, and we always have, okay, first of all, I used to be cut off from the library because we would do what?
We would never return books.
On time. Okay, so the last time we paid fees, well, so there was this one time we may have never returned the book. We had to buy it. But
I still have a library book right now.
But we paid for it.
Yeah,
That's why we have it. But the last time we returned, we finally got a system, and this is part of the system I'm going to show to you. Our fees were $20. And library fees, that's a lot. So
I think one time at our old library we had a fee of $75, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think it was 75, but it was a lot.
75.
So, but now we have a basket
full of books.
And so that's where the name came from, a basket full of books. So we have a book basket. We keep it in the living room. Cohlie's pretty responsible, so she can take some up to her bedroom, but I try for other people not to go up out of the living room. But here are a sample of the books. We have one of our sons that's a struggling reader, and this is his new favorite book. I Love Cats, okay? So they're not, this is a book, Mandy, that was recommended to Cohlie. I don't think she loves it. My boys love this Geronimo series. So does Cohlie. I can't tell you how tired I am of reading these books.
I don't love it.
You don't love it, but you like it.
Yeah.
So, it's about a little mouse, and there's lots of series.
It's sort of like a graphic novel.
It's like a graphic novel. We're still currently reading The Curse of King Tut's Mummy, but there's things, easy reads for Cohlie in here. I mean, other Geronimo books, some Where Is, What Was books. We're studying Egypt right now, so here's some other books. This is about archaeology. Let's turn the light back up. Some other Egyptian books. Splat the Cat. We got a kid that loves Splat the Cat. Anything that he will read, I will get. Transformers. But there's all kinds of other things. Lego books in the basket. So there's always books in the basket for them to read. But then there's some that we are reading together that I kind of keep either in the living room or by my bed. So we're going to review 2 books, and then I'm going to share a book that I think you should read too. Especially if, like us, you are in Classical Conversations, and if you don't know what that is, it is a homeschool group, and we are in Cycle 1, and that's what some of this stuff is behind us. We're in Cycle 1, and we are learning this year from creation to, like, right before, like, nights and all of that stuff. So it's a lot of Egyptian study, Egyptians, Greek study, things like that this year. So if you, like us, are studying that, the book I'm going to share is really good. So which book do you want to share first? All right, so her first book that she's going to share is Red Sails to Capri, or what do I call it all the time?
Red Sails of Capri.
Red Sails of Capri. I get it a little mixed up from time to time. So it is a Newbery honor book. I'd never heard of it. Our library actually didn't have it. We are using Sunlight's curriculum this year for read alouds, and I'm so glad we are because this is such a good book. I really liked it.
And I judge books by the cover, and I at first judged this one, but it's really good.
Okay, so tell me about, without spoiling it totally, what the book is about.
The book's about a boy named Michel, and they live in...
Pause. So I'm really Southern. His name may not be pronounced Michel, but that's what we called him, was Michel. Okay, go.
And he and his family live in Capri, and it's the winter, and at their inn, their family's inn, there is nobody there because they're in the summers when they get all the visitors. So these three men show up, and they basically go on this adventure to, like, a forbidden cave, basically. And
so let me stop you. So the way the three men who show up, they go out on a boat ride. Did they go out on a boat ride?
They went on a boat ride.
And they were told, don't go in this cove, and the people of Capri actually go way around it. They won't go in it.
They won't go in it.
And nobody really talks about why in the town of Capri, why not to go in the cove. It's just kind of forbidden. And there's a lot of speculation around the cove.
Like, and there's a lot of rumors, like there are pirates in the cove and stuff like that.
So, what happens next?
And so, Michel and one of the men are out on a boat ride, and they come across the cove, and they're like, what is this place, and why can't we go in it? It's beautiful. And he's like, we're told not to go in there. I don't know why. And they go back to the inn, and they basically have a discussion, but nobody really says why.
Nobody knows
so it
why.
just leaves you hanging.
Yeah,
like
so
you don't know.
So for a good deal of the book, really until the last chapter.
Of the book, yeah, until basically the last chapter is when they go into the cove. I don't want that to be too spoiled.
Yeah, no, we're not going to spoil it. So, what was your favorite part of the book?
My favorite part was the end, which I'm not going to say what happens at the end, but my favorite part was the end. Or when they're painting, one of the other inn people, Michel goes with him, and he wants to paint, and he's like, I thought you were supposed to be painting the scenery. You're painting the stairs. And he says, it's not until you look at the stairs until you really find their beauty. It's easy to look, but it's not as easy to see. And so that's what's
So were there a lot of, like, good lessons in Red Sails to Capri?
I'd say there were a few.
A few good lessons?
Yeah. Like, it's easy to say something, but not easy to do something.
Yes. And,
Michel's mom said that sometimes it takes a brave man to run away. And that's sort of a good life lesson.
Yeah, so we talked about that with our kids. We talked about, especially our boys, that sometimes the brave thing to do is to walk away from a situation. So there were lots. I can think of 3 really good lessons, life lessons out of this book. It's definitely got some mystery component because it's not till the very last chapter that they decide or they actually go to the cove.
At first I thought, is this cove, are they ever going to go in it? It was like until the last 2 pages that we found out
what was in the cove.
Yeah.
And the cave.
Yeah.
But it's really good. We're actually going to probably try to donate this to our local library so that they can catalog it so other families can read it because they didn't have it. And I don't foresee us reading it again anytime soon because I have a list a mile long of books that I would like to read. So that's Red Sails to Capri. If from a parent's perspective, there was lots of good things. There's lots of culture in the book about why they would have handled certain things. Lots of vocabulary words that we would not have picked up on.
So it made me learn new words. Me and my brothers learned new words.
Yeah, it was really good.
That I didn't know.
Looking over things, see if we missed anything. Terms for people that we would not necessarily use in America. Like signora, I don't know.
Signor and signora, which means Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, and again, I'm Southern and I probably butchered those. So that was Red Sails to Capri by Anne Weil. I don't know how to say it.
Don't judge this book by its cover.
Terrible cover, y'all. Okay,
It's
so
amazing.
the second book that she's going to review, she actually checked it out at the library. Blew through it. I'll let you see it. It's a pretty long book. Blew through it in about a night and a half and said, hey, Mom, you have to read this to the boys. So
I've read a ton of books, and it's the best book I've ever read in my life.
yeah, she just finished making, or not finished, you're still working on it, sort of a diorama. She loves to make dioramas.
Which is like
she made a cardboard
scenery,
scene.
Yeah, like a cardboard scene.
It got stomped on yesterday on the steps, so we got start over a little bit, but it was really good. So, you want to tell them what it is?
Yeah. This book.
It's a Newbery.
Yep, it's a Newbery honor book. And it's about this gorilla, and he spends, like, almost his whole life.
Oh, you didn't tell him the name. Did you say the name? Oh.
The One and Only Ivan.
Okay.
By Catherine Applegate. And it's about this gorilla, and he lives almost his whole life in this cage.
Or a
domain,
he calls
as
it a domain.
Ivan calls it, off I-95, which is probably like just being.
No, that's a real place.
It is?
I-95.
It's a real place. It's called Big Top Mall, which isn't a real place. And his neighbor, like his cage is here, and then there's another cage right here, or domain. And there's an elephant named Stella that lives in there. And Noah, don't start crying.
So
she was crying.
I was a crybaby.
Like,
so I cried at least 3 times reading this book.
Don't tell
I'm
Noah.
not going to.
Why?
One of which I had to stop reading because I couldn't get myself back together. I just really got attached to
the characters.
They're really sweet.
So attached to the characters.
Stella is an elephant.
And then there's the stray dog that roams around named Bob, and he likes to sleep on Ivan's belly. And then there is Julia, which is this little girl that comes and draws him and stuff.
Her dad is like the custodian at the Big Top Mall. Her dad's name was the cleaner, like a janitor.
Her dad's name is George, and they come every night. So what happens is they think Mac, the owner, starts getting a little bored of the animals because Ivan's not cute anymore. Stella's not cute anymore.
Still, if it was the old elephant.
Yeah, she's not doing her tricks as good. And she has a hurt foot. And so, basically, they decide that they're going to bring in this new little elephant. And so, they bring a new elephant named Ruby in. And she's like this adorable little cute baby elephant. And that's actually Ruby. They never sit side by side, but because they're in 2 separate domains. And so, are you about to cry?
I could.
She could cry right now. And so Julia always brings Ivan like some paper and stuff.
Because he makes artwork
He
too.
likes making artwork. So he'll take a little nub of a crown and he'll draw a banana. And eventually Mac catches on that he's drawing and he decides to sell it in the gift shop area. And so I lost my place.
It's okay. So he sells the artwork.
Yep. And then one day Ivan decides he is going to free Ruby because of something. I'm not gonna. It kind of makes sense.
I know. No, it's okay. No, I don't think you have to tell him because it's kind of a spoiler. You spoiled it for me.
It's a big spoiler. And so he decides he's going to help free Ruby. He wants to get her and him into a zoo to have a happy life. He doesn't want Ruby's life to end up like his and Stella's, where they spend their whole life in a little cage or domain.
Yeah.
And so he starts drawing and drawing and drawing until he has a ton of pictures.
And that's his plan.
And that's his plan.
But we're not going to tell you what the plan is.
He stuffs them out.
Don't tell him. Can't tell him.
That's basically all I'm going to tell you.
You really should read this book. And honestly, it's a really easy read because it's pretty big spacing. It's a pretty fast read. But I feel like there's, again, a lot of really good life lessons in the book. Sit up. Like hunched over. Lots of good life lessons in the book. Like, for one, being a good friend.
Yeah.
Honoring your word.
Yeah. Because
Ivan makes Stella a promise.
Yeah. And
I don't think Ivan, when he's made the promise,
he doesn't want to do the promise, but he's doing it for Stella.
So sometimes, we rise to the occasion because we've said something that we're going to do, even though we don't even believe we can do it. So I'm trying to think of what other good lessons are.
I have peanut skins in my teeth. Sorry.
They can't see them. Let's just go with it. Because let's be true, I don't know how to edit a video, so if we stop, I don't know how to fix it. So I think there's just some really good lessons. Our boys loved it, honestly.
She is about to cry.
I know, I could cry. Hudson, my middle, said, "Mom, don't finish it. I don't want the book to end." And they asked a couple times.
I almost cried when the book ended.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know more about Ivan.
And so it's actually based on a true story. There really was this gorilla.
At the back, you can read the true story.
Yeah, he's in Atlanta now at the Atlanta Zoo. But it's a really good book. And there's a couple books that we have been suggested now, so people have recommended to us by this Catherine Applegate person.
And so this book has actually been recommended by someone else, and that's how I found the book.
And so that was what inspired her.
There's one person that I will take a recommendation from.
Yeah. So any more about Ivan? It's
I
good.
don't want to spoil it.
Yeah, we're trying not to spoil it. That's not as hard to.
It's the best book I've ever read.
Yeah, and she really, truly, it's nothing for her to read, 3 books a week, 4 books a week, if not more.
That's easy.
So she reads a lot. So the last book I'm going to suggest, we have actually already taken it back to the library. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this.
Well, sort of.
Sort of.
You should turn down the brightness.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't worry about it. It's called...
Do you want me to burn up and get it?
We've already taken it back to the library.
Oh.
The Egyptian Cinderella by Shirley Climo. And so, because we're studying Egypt, I picked up this book, and it is basically the Cinderella story, but based in Egyptian culture. So it was really kind of cool to hear. Well, I mean, really, I think this is how this story would have started. And then, Cinderella was spun off of it into more of a culturally appropriate story.
I think this one would have been made first.
That's what I'm saying. And then Cinderella was kind of polished up for, a more modern culture.
Turned into
but the cool thing is Rodolphus, if that's how you say it, that's what Google told me we say it. Rodolphus is the Cinderella of the book. And in the back of the book, it actually made the connection. It kind of told a little more about where the Cinderella story came from and the Rodolphus it made the connection to that Rodolphus was actually a slave with Aesop,
Yep.
And we were for like, Aesop Fables.
Aesop? Is that how you say it? Go get me that book.
And so we kind of made the connection that
he was a Greek man.
He was actually a slave when Rodolphus was
slave.
So it was really, really interesting. It was really fun to read their take on the Cinderella story. And so that's it.
Yep.
Because this is getting long. I didn't think it would take 20 minutes. So anything else you want to say?
Oh, yeah. I think you should go watch Studio B.
That's the girl that she likes her reviews
those are
from.
the only people I will take recommendations from because I loved all the books that she has recommended. And so, go watch her videos.
Studio B?
Yep, Studio B.
Okay. And you can follow us on Instagram. We're going to start an Instagram account. We actually kind of have it. We haven't launched it yet. A basket full of books.
Yep.
A basket full of books.
A basket full of books.
We're going to just share what we're reading that week and hopefully inspire you to read some of the books we are because we really like reading around here. And, it plays a big part into our everyday life here. So, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching our first video. I had no idea it would take this long. Thanks to Cohlie for sharing her reviews and finally twisting my arm to make a YouTube video. And so we'll see if we can actually get this uploaded and actually make it to YouTube. But thanks again.
Yep. And if it does get uploaded, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up.
Clearly she like and subscribe. I don't even know what that means, but I see all the videos she watched. Like and subscribe. So apparently down there's going to be a button. I don't know. So anything else?
No. I think we're good.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Bye.